Hey everyone, Greg here. I haven't done this sort of thing in a while, but wanted to take some time since I'm back from med school break. Gotta take some time to answer a pretty hot question that I frequently get asked. I think in one of my videos I might have answered this before, but I wanted to give you a more candid, more honest, real life look into what my water parameters are in my room, because that seems to be the number one question I get is, what are your water parameters? What's your TDS, pH, nitrates, nitrites, KH, GH? So yeah, I just want to take a couple minutes and quickly answer that question. What are my water parameters? And what do I keep my discus at in my fish room? And to answer that question, I don't know. I couldn't honestly tell you anything besides the temperature, and that is 28 degrees Celsius. I forget the conversion to Fahrenheit, but 28 degrees Celsius is what everything's kept at, including my aged water. I do not know my pH or TDS. I haven't measured them in a couple of years. I know that may sound shocking, but I have some pretty good reasons, I think, why I don't test my water anymore. But a little bit more into my water, I can tell you basics. It's tap water, city water from South Jersey. It used to be, back when I did measure, it used to be pretty consistently 7.4 for pH and have a TDS, total dissolved solids, of 140 ppm parts per million. And that's all I knew. I have not measured it, like I said, in a long time. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. And I don't care because I think that consistency and is most important for discus keeping. And you can be like, oh, well, how do you know your tap water is consistent or not? And that's a fair argument, but I found that the more I mess with my water to try to reach the ideal water parameters that you read about online or in books or hear from other people, I think messing with your water can do more harm than good, and often does. I think it's responsible for a majority of newcomers' problems with discus, outside of not keeping up with water changes enough and maybe temperature issues. I think messing with your water really does a number on your fish. I think that acid and base and buffers, that's complicated, and I forget which one burns off faster, but I think the acid used to burn off faster than base, causing pH swifts, and it was never stable. I might reach my ideal pH of like 6.5 or something I used to shoot for like years ago, and I might hit it for a little while, and then it would just like next day like boom, and you may not see it in the fish, and unless you're like testing consistently with something reliable, like it's that stress from messing with your water. I think that can bring out a lot of issues in your fish. I think hexamida, and I'm just saying this from personal experience and from what I've seen across the spectrum, but I think hexamida, which is responsible for hole in the head and that white poop coming out of the fish's feces, I think that's endemic to pretty much discus as a species. I think it's there. I don't think it's going away. I think what precipitates the hole in the head and the white feces is stress. And stress can come from a couple different sources, but I think the two big ones that come to mind are, well, I guess three big ones, is inconsistency. So are you, not keeping up with regular water change? I think messing with your tap water or whatever water, trying to like add chemicals and whatnot to your water, I think that causes a lot of stress to fish. And I think over medicating your fish as well, and along the lines of over medicating, improperly medicating, or too quick to medicate fish causes a lot of problems. I don't think everyone really knows what they're doing when it comes to medicine, and you may be somebody who does, you may not be, but like when you're throwing general cure at fish, you really don't know what you're treating, in my opinion, because they treat two different things, treats flukes and hole in the head, and I don't really, and you're usually, a lot of people will treat the whole tank, and you're causing stress to the fish that don't have either one of those. So, but yeah, we're not here to talk about medications because that's a whole other topic, but I think that consistency in your water is one of the most important things you can do for your fish. Just keep up with regular changes. I do like 50% once or twice a week. I know that sounds like a lot, but these are big fish, and packing them into small tanks, they eat a lot. You're gonna need to change their water. They're not, and I think you need to do that for most fish. I think we get lazy as people, and obvious, we don't do enough for our fish sometimes as far as water. We think that just feeding them and messing with their water is good enough, but they need clean water in a lot of cases. And then, not messing with your fish, and not messing with the water. In some cases that's gonna not be true because you may live in somewhere where it's really bad tap water, and if you're an outlier case, you may have to go to extra methods to keep discus. But I think, for majority of the cases, tap water is fine. You could argue that breeding, you do need to do some different things, but that's, again, true or untrue. All these fish in here have been bred and raised in tap water, and if you've looked at some of my recent videos, they're pretty awesome. I think, at least, for being grown in tap water. So yeah, I don't know my water parameters, short and straight. Just wanted to be honest with you, and maybe that'll change your perspective on how you approach discus. I think that being just regular with your water changes, not messing with it, keep things stable and consistent, you're gonna find much more success, and you'll be happier, your fish will be happier, and your wallet will be happier because you're not losing and replacing fish, and you're not getting burnt out of it. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm not going to argue with anyone online because I respect everyone else's opinions, and honestly, I don't really have the timer to argue with you. So if you disagree with me, I respect that. But if you're looking for a different view on your discus's water, maybe take this into consideration. Somebody who's, I'm not like a world-class breeder or anything, but I've been doing this for a little while now, and I have the proof that I feel I need myself to be like, yeah, I think not messing with your water is fine. Tap water, not messing with your water parameters, that's actually done a lot of good for me. So I used to lose a lot of fish, trust me, and I think that the online community and information and books can kind of lead people in the wrong direction, and if not in the wrong direction, it can lead a lot of people to make the same mistakes and then have to go back to the drawing board and learn from their mistakes. And I think if you want to be successful, aging your water and not messing with your water is going to be crucial to your success. Aging your water, I can talk about in another video, but I think that's very important, as it, to me, significantly reduces stress on your fish. And I think stress is a discus's biggest enemy outside of, the basics. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions, or if you want me to, give a yes or a no to your tap water, shoot me an email or a comment, and I'll do my best to say yay or nay to those parameters. So yeah, appreciate watching. Thanks again.